I love preaching at Christmas time because it makes me look back at my life, at my childhood ages, and what I always experienced at Christmas. Now, many of you know I come from a relatively big family. I'm actually an Irish triplet, which means I have a brother and sister who are twins, and 11 and a half months later, I came. And this was awesome, except at Christmas time, there always arose a problem because my brother Luke and I had the same interest. We always liked the same thing, and so we'd always fight over who got the better gift. Now, Santa got smart, because he's a smart guy, right? We know this. Santa's very smart. And he said, you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start giving them the same exact gift so they can't fight over it. But then it turned into a huge fight of who could open up the gifts the fastest, right? And I'm not lying. That last night I went home for Christmas, and my mom got us a gift, my brother and I, the same gift. And I looked at my brother, and we looked at each other. I'm like, who could open the present the fastest? I'm 29 years old, and I'm still fighting over who can open up this gift the fastest, right? But this is what we did. We always fought over who could open up the fastest so we could get inside and get those green suspenders when I was 5. And let me tell you, when I got those green suspenders when I was 5, it was like the best Christmas ever. All right, I wore those things for like 2 years till I got too big. But it was awesome. We got green suspenders, sailor hats, whatever. All right? But we always fought, too, like who got the best gift. Now, one year, Santa got really smart. It was the year 1990. He said, you know what? I'm going to give the whole family a gift that they can share. And what he got us was like the best gift we ever wanted. 1990, this is way back in the day before all of our servers were born, that's for sure. All right, so back in the day, as I can say now, we got the original Nintendo. It was awesome. Like not the Nintendo Wii, not the Nintendo Universe, not even the Nintendo 64. The original Nintendo. And when we got it, my brother Mark, who was older than I was, like by 8 years, when he opened up that gift, he was so excited. Like we played Super Mario Brothers, Zelda, Duck Hunter. How awesome was Duck Hunter, if you remember that? That was an awesome game, right? There we were, and we were sharing this gift. It was great. But a couple years later, we started writing out our Christmas list. You know what I put on there? I want a Sega, because it's better than a Nintendo, right? So that 2 years later, I got a Sega. It was awesome. Sonic Hedgehog, better graphics, 3 buttons instead of 2 buttons, right? A couple years later, I wrote down, I want a Nintendo 64. Well, Santa's like, no, you're too old for those things, right? Now we have like Xbox 360, 720, 1080, 428, whatever it may be, right? This thing about these game systems and every gift is that we always want something more. There's always another version coming up. But Santa was very smart in 1990, and he gave us a gift that a family that we could share. Today, as many of you know, we're giving you a gift. And it's a gift, it's not a Nintendo, not even an original Nintendo, it's only a book. A book right here. Every single Catholic in the Archdiocese of St. Paul and Minneapolis is receiving this book right here. This book is written by a man named Matthew Kelly. Matthew Kelly is a consultant for a lot of Fortune 500 companies. But in his spare time, he talks about Catholic stuff. As a matter of fact, it's kind of taken over his life. He has this website, dynamiccatholic.com. It's a great website. But it's a book called Rediscover Catholicism. Every single Catholic in the Archdiocese that goes to Mass on Christmas, either last night or today, is receiving this book, at least one per family. And what we want you to do with it, of course, is not just put it on your bookshelf, but to read it. And this book, you may think like, okay, they're giving us this huge theological book, and it's not going to be very good and really boring. It's not. I've read it a couple times, and let me tell you, it is one inspiring book. And it's written not for high theologians. It's not written for people that have studied for 8 years for the priesthood, although I got a lot out of it. It's written for you. It's written so that you can discover all the great things that the Catholic Church has to offer. It's an amazing book. But it's only amazing if we read it. Now, why are we giving out this book, by the way? Well, because right now we're in the year of faith. This year, throughout the whole world, we have the year of faith in which we are called to increase our faith. So we think that this book may help out, and hopefully, like I said, it's not just something you hold on to yourself, but that you share with your family. But I know you didn't come here this morning just for a book, right? We came for something more than that. And we didn't come for Nintendo either, did we? Good. All right, because we're not giving out any Nintendos. I mean, I could, but it probably doesn't work. All right? Instead, why did you come here this morning? You came here because we are celebrating the greatest gift that we have ever got. We are celebrating the gift of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, who came down into this world for us so that we could experience God in the fullness that he has to offer us. And we come together today, and we come to Mass, and we celebrate the Eucharist. And of course, the Eucharist is a celebration of thanksgiving, to say thank you to God for the gift of your Son. Thank you so much. And we get to share this gift of God, not just with those people here in St. Ambrose, not just with the people Archdiocese of St. Paul, Minneapolis, but with everyone across the world. We get to share this gift that God has given us, the gift of himself. And what did he do when he came down to earth? He shared in our humanity. He took on our human flesh. Our opening prayer had a beautiful opening prayer this morning. It's the same one that the priest essentially prays in the silence of his heart. But when the priest comes up here and he pours the water into the wine, it says, by the mystery of this water and wine, may we come to share in the divinity of Christ, who humbled himself to share in our humanity. Christ, God, Jesus, shared in our humanity. Why? So that we can share in his divinity. That we can come and experience God, and that he becomes part of us. Why did God send down his Son? Why did Jesus take on the human flesh? Why did he share with us in our humanity? Because he wanted to give us a gift so that we could experience him fully, so that we could be free from this original sin. And what a great gift it is. Like I said, with that Nintendo and the Sega and everything else, a couple years later, what do we want? We want something newer. We want something better. Even with this book right here, my hope is that 5 years from now, one of you can write a book that's better than this. And you can, if you come to know Christ. Yeah, this is the new and best thing right now. At least new, maybe not the best. Of course, the Bible is the best, right? One of the newest things. But eventually, this is going to get old. Eventually, the 13th edition is going to come out. You know the great thing about Jesus is? Year 2012, and we are still celebrating his birth. Not the birth of Jesus 2.0, but the birth of Jesus Christ, the original one. He never gets old. It never stops to amaze us. We can always come to learn more about him. How great a gift is this? There is nothing greater. And to think that God himself wants us to share with him everything that he has. This Christmas, today, let us come and continue to explore this great gift of God and unwrap this present. Not only today, the gift of God, but every day of our life. And it's never, ever going to get old. It's never not going to be fulfilling. Why? Because it is God. God who wants to be with you. Let us take advantage of this gift every day of our life. And when we do this, my brothers and sisters, when we all do this, then and only then will we have this fulfillment and this gift that we are longing for.